Hi loves, we're gonna be going from drop to fab. I'm getting my makeup. We are going to talk about you resisting sales. We're gonna stop that today. We're gonna talk about you repelling money or resistance around money and resisting sales. So we're gonna do this while I get ready because it's Friday. I do have I'm a part of a summit right now, and we have the panel. Today's the last day of it, and we have like a Q&A, so I'm getting ready for that, and also getting ready because I'm going to be heading out. But here's my thing to you. We're going to talk about you repelling money and how to stop that, right? To amplify sales. I'm a believer that like things can change in an instant. If you've taken any programs with me, you know I say this all the time. Things can change in an instant. My private clients will tell you, my house of work clients will tell you, things can change in an instant. You could have $0 friggin' in your bank account right now, $0 friggin' in your bank account right now, and have 18K come in today. And I can say that with my fullest chest, because in May of 2022, and this is why I'm telling you this right now, because if you don't understand why you are like resisting money, you will continue to resist money. If you don't understand the energetic principles of why you're resisting money, you will continue to resist money. A lot of you are showing up, you're posting, and your posts aren't landing. People aren't buying, they're clicking, they're not buying, they're clicking, they're not buying, because you have a resistance to money. And I'm going to tell you why you have a resistance to money in this video, and it is going to change your life. And by the way, and at the end of this, not at the end of this, before you even get to the end of this, I do have something called my magnetic aura money immersion. First of all, we're doing makeup here. This is my brow kit that I use. It's by Repel. It's called Brow This Way. But let me tell you this right now. Inside of my magnetic aura money immersion, we're going to actually fix the problem. Okay? We're actually going to fix the problem. There's something that I do with my clients that has them overnight shifting and going from $0 months and hiatuses in their business to $8,400 days. That has them going from months and months showing up, paying for the ads, doing the big launch, and having no one sign up for their things, to me giving them one shift and they have 40 people sign up in the space of a week and a half for the program that their past mentor told them no one was going to buy. So when I say to you that inside of my magnetic aura money immersion, it's going to change the game for you, I mean that with the fullness of my soul. Now, we haven't finished the sales page. It's currently on the checkout page. So you buy direct from checkout. So there is a special offer on it right now. Once the sales page is done, the price that it is now is going to more than double. That's just it. Like, I get paid to exist. So when I do things, I get paid for them, okay? So when the sales page gets made, you're gonna pay the full price. It's not even full price, but the full price should actually be like 1,000 something. But I wanted to create an immersion that was gonna be powerful for the entrepreneurs who are done being best kept secrets in their industry. Now, 2022, I need you to understand this. It was shaping up to be my lowest month in 8 years in business, or 7 at the time, 7 years, 8 years, 8 years in business at the time. It was shaping up to be my lowest freaking month. Okay, we're going to the 10th of the month, $0 has come in, and it was as if like at that point too, payments had been ended. Like, I had wrapped up a program the month before, so no new payments were coming in. I had less one-on-one clients that year because I had made a decision to like take on less one-on-one clients, and it was just not looking good for me. I literally was having anxiety about money, okay? Like, I would have anxiety around money because it just felt like, oh my God, my business is failing. Am I gonna have to go back and get a job? Which, by the way, if you have to go get a job, I'm not the kind of person that will tell you, oh no, don't get a job. Like, that's not me. Do what you need to do if you need to regulate your nervous system. But what I can tell you is that there have been times where I was like, I'm going to go get a job. And then I went like back in 2016, 17, and I went to work to sell pizza at a kiosk in the mall. And I went there on day one for the orientation. And the man was like, okay, you clearly don't belong here. He like sent me around the back to go do admin. And then I just never went back the next day, and 48 hours later, I had like a $5,000 day. So when I say to you that I know how to go from having like really, excuse my language, but fucked up finances one day to having like massive money the next day. Now obviously the next phase of the whole process is to learn to stabilize so that you're not going down every time to then go up. But I'm going to tell you exactly how to go up, right? Because it doesn't matter what's in your bank account right now. You could have 10 debt collectors, you could have no money. And by the way, I'm very well aware that there are people who that's not their situation. But you know what? I know who I'm called to talk to, and I'm talking to the person who is in their friggin' head right now around their money. And I even remember having money in my bank account and still feeling anxious. So it's not even about like how much money you have. I remember having money and still feeling anxiety around money, waking up with panic attacks around money. Like, bitch, what's wrong with you? There's money in your account. Your bills are paid. Like, what's going on? Where is this coming from? So I want you to understand that money is an emotional game. And this is the biggest thing that people don't realize. Money is an emotional game. Why? Because everything is energy. Everything is energy. I need you to understand this. Everything is energy. Money is energy. Everything. Don't the brows just make my face just immediately look better? Like, man, I just love brows. Like, brows, you do nothing else. You just do your brows and like brush your hair, and it's like, I look like I am a runway model. Like, let's be honest. But where was I? So, money is energy. Money is emotion. It's emotion based. Okay, so what you have to remember is that emotions are energy in motion. Okay, emotions are energy in motion. So I use, again, Rimmel. I'm a Rimmel girly. You know, people like I have Estee Lauder foundations that I use when I'm filming, like massive filming and stuff like that, because it's like a really good HD foundation. But for daily wear, Rimmel brows, Rimmel foundation. Look at that. It's literally the same color as my skin. Like, it's my skin. It's literally my skin. Anyway, where was I? Listen, work with it. Work with it. I'm giving you things that can change your life. So yes, work with my little off-topic detours. The point is this. Money is an energy. Money is an emotional game. Money is an emotional game like you cannot even understand. So everything is energy, right? We hear it all the time. Everything is energy. But like, I need you to understand that like everything is really energy. Everything is energy. Every single thing is energy. Okay, money's energy, your energy, this is energy, everything is just energy. And the truth is that when you realize that everything is energy, emotions are energy in motion. So if you want to move something towards you, you have to get the energy in motion to move that thing towards you. But here's the problem, sweetie pie, because you've heard that 50 million times. Here's the problem. There are so many things inside that go on inside your head that are coded in not just through your own experiences of money, but through your family lineage around money, through your fears around money, your fears of what will happen when you get the money, your fears of what will happen if you don't get the money, what you think it takes in terms of work and deliverables. If you run a business, is like, oh my God, am I going to be burnt out if I make this money? All of those emotions that you have lurking around inside of you, they get in the way. The problem is, if you knew what they were, you would already have released them. If you knew what they were, you'd have already released them. If you knew what they were, you would have already released them and the problem would be fixed. This is why mentorship is so freaking important. And this is why what I'm doing inside the magnetic aura immersion is so important. Because when you are like me, where I've worked with entrepreneurs in over 32 different countries across 28 industries. I have clients who are everything from coaches to energy healers to people who are medical doctors, people who have e-commerce brands, like interior designers. When I say to you, 28 different industries across 32 countries, women from all across the world, few men too, right? From all across the world. And what I can tell you is the patterns are the same. The patterns are the absolute same. So when you do not understand what the patterns are that are in your way, you cannot give an antidote for something that has not been diagnosed correctly. It's like you have you have an upset tummy and you need Pepto-Bismol, but we're giving you like a band-aid for your elbow. Like, how the hell does that make sense? So inside of the magnetic aura immersion, what I'm doing with you is I'm actually going to be aligning you into the frequency for money. But first, we're going to remove, clear, delete, and clear your aura from all the mind viruses and all the biological viruses, because some of these are not even mental. Some of your blocks are not mental. Your ancestors, in their aim to survive, coded in faulty money blocks and money principles. And what they've done is, in their faulty money blocks and money principles, they've coded you with it. These things pass on through 6 generations. In fact, epigenetic studies more recently are saying it can go up to 14 generations. Who was your 6th ancestor ago? Was, like, for black people, were they in slavery? If you're Jewish, were they in the Holocaust? Were they living in the Irish famine if you're from Ireland? Like, were they in the Great Depression? Every culture has had some kind of thing in the past 14 generations, for sure. Humanity, right? And those things, like, I remember I had this client of mine and I was doing some channeling work for her and some just, some discernment work for her. And the funny thing is, I kept getting that there was some ancestor who had lost money. And that was the coding that was in her, that was blocking her. And by the way, that is why I'm saying to you that, like, one of my spiritual gifts is being able to see for you the actual root cause and the block, the thing that is there. So she couldn't see that, but I could see that. And I was like, I'm getting that there's some ancestor who lost some money or whatever. And she's like, oh my God, my grandma used to be very wealthy. And she lost the money, or some business thing went bad and she lost the money. And so that whole thing of, like, you're wired for wealth, but you protect yourself from it because you're like, what if I lose it all? Okay? She's wired for wealth. This client was wired for wealth. Like, the opportunities she attracts, the lifestyle she desires, everything in her life is wired for wealth. But she wasn't calling it in because there was this ancestral programming of, like, what's the point? You are going to lose it. By the way, I still do my makeup the way they did it back in 2017. I know people do their makeup much differently now, but I love how it makes my face shape. It makes me look a little snatched, and so I will continue to do what I do. Okay, so this is where I put my concealer. So anyway, in order for her, when we worked through that with her, her anxiety around money immediately dropped, and her income also doubled. Her income doubled. Her monthly income, what she was bringing in her business, doubled. Simple thing, easy thing. And not just that, like, as we continued to work together, she started having in her containers more people than she had ever had before. Okay? More people than she had ever had before. Why am I sharing this with you? You don't know what you don't know, and if you knew what it was, you'd have fixed it already. Inside the magnetic aura immersion, I'm going to teach you what it is. I'm going to teach you to find what your money block is, what your money core wound is, so you can fix it. Because at the end of the day, you cannot have what you are not a match for. And what that means is not just, oh, I think. No, you've been thinking. It's not happening. Your problem is not your mindset. Your problem is not thought. Your problem is not mindset, and your problem is not thought. Your money block and your money problem has nothing to do with your thoughts right now. It has everything to do with the frequency you're emitting, which has to do with the mind viruses that you've downloaded, whether through trauma, through your bloodline, through every time you did a launch and it failed, what you told yourself about that. We have to pop the pimple. This pimple needs to be popped. There is pus everywhere. And until you get that gunk out, you will continue to walk around with this baggage, this nasty, icky, pussy, money gunk. You don't need to do that. Okay? You do not need to do that. And I'm going to teach you how to fix that. And I can teach you because I was that girl. As I said, I literally had the lowest lowest. When I said to you, like anxiety and money, all that stuff, and within a day, 18,000, I think it was 18,300 and something dollars in a day. In a day. Imagine having your biggest cash day. Imagine unlocking your biggest cash day. If you knew how to fix it by yourself, you would. Okay? If you know how to fix it by yourself, you would. So that's what we're going to do inside the magnetic aura money immersion. Because at the end of the day, I take a stand for women making money. Do you know why? Because when I was separated and going through divorce, I used to live in Italy, for those of you who don't know. Beautiful house on the beach. And when I moved from Italy to London, okay, going through separation and divorce in the middle of the pandemic, my bills were 13 times more because now I'm by myself. I used to be a 50-50 girl. Used to be a 50-50 girl back in the day because I was in my 20s and I was stupid. Okay? I wasn't stupid. I did what I thought. I was an independent girl, firstborn. I don't need you. Like, that was me at the time. So I did the whole 50-50 thing. So when I moved to London, it was me by myself paying everything. And my bills were 13 times more because London is hella expensive and we all know this. So there I am in London. My bills are 13 times more. I move into this 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment in a high-rise building, luxury apartment, concierge, private gym, overlooking the city, 15 minutes from the center, like perfect apartment. 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom for me as a single girl. It was unfurnished. I did not even have a spoon when I tell you I was starting from scratch because I didn't know I was going to get separated and divorced. I didn't know I wasn't going to be still married after that move. Okay? And when I moved to London, I didn't have to flinch. I didn't have to flicker. I didn't have to worry because I understood how to command cash. I understood how to magnetize money to me. And I understood how to thrive regardless of circumstances. When you have circumstances are happening and you start to spiral, that is a personal power issue and that's a magnetism issue. But when you know how to reconcile that, this is my eyeshadow palette that I use. When you understand how to reconcile that for yourself, immediately you become a match for money. There were so many days where people just randomly message me and then pay in full for private coaching with me. There are people who would be like, hey, I can't work with you right now, but I want to reserve my spot for private coaching, and then pay for private coaching. And they weren't even being coached till months later. There were people who were buying my courses. I'm talking even people who I knew from high school were buying my courses. My self-study courses, everything I did was selling. And the reason was because I understood a frequency and a vibe and an aura that made me so magnetic that I became the only option. I was not in panic. It didn't matter that when I started, I had no bed. Like, I literally moved into that apartment with nothing, not even a spoon. And my best friend had to lend me a blow-up bed. Okay, my best friend lived in London as well. And he had to lend me a blow-up bed. And then I furnished that apartment with my dream everything. Dream bed, dream sofa. Like, when I would go furniture shopping, I didn't ask, what could I afford? I said, what do I want? What do I want in one of the most expensive cities in the world? And the thing is that that's not where I come from. I come from a single parent household where my mother died and it was just my dad. And me being the firstborn, when I was working my summer jobs, I had to literally pay for my sister's school bags and school books and school shoes to help contribute to the household. I didn't come from, like, literally my dad grew up where they didn't have shoes. They didn't have shoes. One of the houses that they grew up in when they were kids didn't have floorboards. It was dirt. So when I tell you that I can transcend my ancestral lineage around money, and when I tell you that I can transcend societal programming around money, it doesn't matter what circumstances look like. Things can change in an instant. But it happens when you understand how to unlock your magnetic aura for money. this magnetic aura immersion, it's going to change your life because it's going to help you to pinpoint your core wounding around money, remove them, and then it's going to activate your magnetic aura around money so you can become a match for it regardless of circumstance. Even through a massive life transition like moving countries, divorce, living on my own again, going through the heartbreak of all of that stuff. And whenever like I said to you, I remember when I had that month, May 2022, I remember having this financial pressure of like, oh my God, no money is coming in the whole month. Okay, but by the time the month had ended, I shifted and I had an $18,000. Is that Fabiola? I can't see comments. I don't even know if you guys are commenting. But literally, that month, I felt like it was like the lowest month I've ever had in 8 years in business. Nothing was coming in. I literally went back to go think, I literally thought, should I go get a job? Like, what's happening? I was panicking. And then in that moment, when I tapped back into this exact work that I'm going to teach you inside of the magnetic aura money immersion, okay, I was able to have an $18,000 day. $18,000 day. And when I am not having circumstantial challenges and I am cruising, and I tap into this work, do you know what happens? 10K days are just normal. 5-figure days are just normal. 25K in 3 days is just normal. 17K in 5 days is just normal. It's just normal. It's just normal. So, should I put on red lipstick or not? So I'm gonna get my laptop because I need to drop the link for you for magnetic aura, because I know that some of you who you're thinking about it, you've seen me talk about it, you felt the energy of it, but you aren't signing up. You're doing yourself a great disservice. It literally breaks my heart for you because I know how much this is gonna change the game for you. You don't know what you don't know. And there are parts of you that resist being that big, being that rich, being that seen, being that known, taking up that much space and getting everything you want because you're afraid of losing your man or your people, or people are going to judge you, or oh my God, it's going to take too much work. What if you get burnt out? You have these belief systems, and we're going to throw that shit we're throwing it in the bin. And we're going to activate you around your magnetism so you get everything you want. But for this specific immersion, we're specifically talking about money. Should I wear red lipstick today? I like my red lip. You know, like I like it, but I feel like I'm also just absolutely gorgeous even without the red lip. Okay, maybe I'll do like a little just tint. What do you think? Like a little tint, and then just put gloss over this. What do you think? Because I have that summit thing, like Q&A. All right, so I'm going to put the link. Let me go get my laptop and I'll put the link for you, and I'll also get my lip gloss. Stay right there. Don't you go anywhere. Oh, I'm not wearing any underwear. Well, I'm wearing underwear. I'm only wearing underwear. I'll be back. We're back. Oh, you guys waited for me. Thank you, cutie. Let me see if I can even see who's on here, because maybe y'all are here commenting and I can't see your comments because Facebook Live is not showing them to me. Okay, you're not commenting. Okay. Joke's on me for that one. Okay, let's get a little gloss on. All right, so what questions do you have about money and money magnetism? I'm going to drop the link for you. Copying the link, pasting in the comments. That's the link for the magnetic aura immersion. This gloss is like a nudish kind of gloss. It's quite nice. Hi, Sherilyn, beautiful, darling. Oh, you said hello. Hi, Sherilyn. Hi, baby girl. Sweetie, you gotta, if you came in afterwards, you want to watch this from the beginning. What questions do you have about like money? Because one of the things that I noticed that comes up is like shame around not being further ahead, shame around guilt. Especially like if you've been in business and you're like doing things, you're showing up, right? Listen, okay, when you say hi to me, like, it makes my day, guys. I love when y'all talk to me in the chat, because then, like, I get excited and I'm like, I know who I'm talking to, and then I can actually get even more personal with, like, what I say and stuff like that, versus, like, just giving you the thing that I came on here to say. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like I have no lashes. Can you see that I have, like, 0 lashes? I have no lashes. I don't have lashes. This is after mascara. Like, what is the difference? What is the difference? All I see is eyes. All I see is an eye. I don't see a lash. I don't see no lash at all. But what I notice is, and I see this with, like, but by the way, for those of you who want, like, fast track, I have a container, right? This is, like, my most sacred space around money and business. And it's called the House of Wealth, okay? And the thing about the House of Wealth is you get every single course and program I have around business and money. So, and you get instant access to them, where you don't have to be like, oh, where do I go? Which one should I get? No, you get everything. So, for example, I have a course called Recoding the Money Wound. And in that course, that program is literally about biologically rewiring your body and your cells and your DNA around money. I don't have any questions right now. Okay. Perfect. Yes. Definitely come join us. Like, it's on special right now. The price is going to double. It's going to more than double once the sales page is finished. So if you want to secure that savings, definitely jump in now while it's still at the special offer that it's at now. And inside of the magnetic aura immersion, you will also get access to a coaching experience. So that means you will not be, because what I teach in there, it's going to crack you open, and it's going to, like, clear some of the gunk that's stopping you from, like, popping off. And then we're going to like align you to the frequency where it's like, yeah, you're just that girl. You're just that girl, right? But you are a human with your own personal things. And I know there's power in actually having a coach. There's so many posts and self-study courses, but there's something powerful about allowing yourself to be coached. And somebody like me, especially, who is very intuitive, and I can see stuff for you that you may not realize is there, and I can help pull that out to help you to shift those things. Okay, so that coaching call will happen in this live round. If you want that, afterwards it will be on self-study, so people can still get the replays of the modules I'm teaching. But if you want to be coached, this is an opportunity. My private coaching clients, they pay upwards $3,750 per month, upwards $5,000 a month, depending on the package that they're in and what other bonuses they get and stuff. And this, having me coach you, it's priceless. It's literally priceless. It's an absolute game changer. Okay. So what I was saying about the House of Wealth, though, for those of you who are like, you want the fast track, the money fast track, I have these courses around money, right? So we have Recoding the Money Wound, where we actually clear. And this is beyond just money in your business. This is money in general. I've had clients who go through that and they literally get like $8,000 checks, like a week into the program. That's just days into the program. They get like an $8,000 check, days into the program, or they're getting free gifts, free photo shoots, and all kinds of things that are coming to them. Dream cars, houses, like all kinds of crazy epic things happen for them, that are their manifestations that they're trying to call in, because we remove the blocks in your DNA, your morphogenetic field. So from a biological perspective, we all have something, we talk about aura, but when I talk about aura, I'm really talking your aura. There's something called a morphogenetic field, and that's the thing that's around you. You can't see it, but it's continuously interacting with other people. This is why when you don't like someone, and you get around them, you just feel bad vibes around them, because your aura is emitting that and they're picking up on that, and it's causing different waves, interference with waves. Okay, this is all scientific. And what happens is that we all have a morphogenetic field, and it's coded in through some of the things we've gone through in our life, the traumas that we have, or parents, or lineage, all that kind of stuff. And so when we're emitting this morphogenetic field, we are changing what we receive because of just or embodiment. That's why on those days when you look good and you feel good, it's like everything is working out for you, because your morphogenetic field evolves and it's like continuously pouring back into you. But I'm going to teach you to have your morphogenetic field stabilized around money and receiving, regardless of how you look or regardless of circumstances. So even when the world is in chaos, you're still a match. You are still a match, okay? So that's one of the things you're going to do. Now, Inside of the House of Wealth, you get access to these courses. So you get access to that program that will heal. It's beyond money mindset. You've journaled, you've read the books. That's not your problem. It's deeper than that. It's biological, it's ancestral coding, it's biological, it's somatic. So you get access to that. The second thing that we look at around money is you get inside the House of Wealth is something called In the Green. Now, In the Green, by the way, Recoding the Money Wound is like $1,000 program on its own. In the Green is for those entrepreneurs who you've made money, you've had big months, you've had the wins, but where did it go? Where did it go? Where the hell did the money go? That happened to me. I remember I had made 17K in 5 days, and I was like, okay, where did the money go? Why don't I have any money like the next month? Like, why am I back on the hamster wheel? So In the Green is like the practical wealth building strategies, but specifically for entrepreneurs. The way how people teach money budgeting is 10% over here, 20% over here. That does not work when you're an entrepreneur because your income is not the same every month, or it's not wired to be the same every month. They're variables. And so how can you create that safety around money when you don't, like, it's not possible. So you have to be able to manage your money based on principles wired for entrepreneurs, not principles wired for people with 9 to 5. It's just not the same. It's just not the same. And then we talk about wealth building so that you are able to live for free. Okay, that's the part of the process that you get to have financial freedom, but as an entrepreneur. Okay, that's In the Green. You get that program too. Now, a big part of having limitless wealth and having money, this is why it's called a House of Wealth, is because you want to be able to make as much money as you want. Okay, make as much money as you want. So we have all of my business programs and sales programs. So you get seductive sales, so you're mastering sales. You get hot ass offers, so you're able to create offers that fly off the shelf faster than toilet paper in March of 2020 when the pandemic hit. You get access to Sexy Sustainability Sequence, which teaches you how to stack your revenue in your business so that you're not chasing money every month. Okay, so you can do like me in 2024 when my grandma died and my uncle died and the dog died and my cousin's baby. Like, it was just a disastrous year 2024, but I could take 6 months off and still have money coming in every month because of how I stacked my income using the Sexy Sustainability Sequence. Okay, so your business is never needing you immediately. So if you needed to go on maternity leave, if you needed to just take friggin' 2 weeks off, you wanted to go on Christmas break, like, your money is stacked. So that's Sexy Sustainability Sequence. So you get that program too. If you're pivoting your business or if you are starting something new, I have something called the Sexy 6-Figure CEO Codes, which is how to build a 6-figure business from day one, instant, from the start. You get that as well inside of the House of Wealth. Okay, and by the way, you get instant access to all of these things. So you're not getting just one thing and then, no, you get instant access, because I want you to come in and say, where is my gap? I think my gap is the sustainability piece. I think my gap is I'm not managing my money well. I think my gap is, oh my God, I need this inner healing stuff. Okay? For some of you, your money is blocked because of your visibility. You're afraid to speak up because who's gonna not like it? Can I really talk about that topic? A lot of you are in misaligned businesses because you're afraid to talk about the thing that you're meant to talk about. We literally have somatic practices to open your voice so you can start speaking. Because when you speak, the thing that's meant to be spoken, that's when the money comes in effortlessly, because you're a match for the soul people who want that. Okay, so you get access to that as well. But we have other somatic practices as well where we talk about survival. We store survival in our pelvis. So we have somatic practices where we're activating and releasing things from here. Okay, that has to do with survival. There's a lot of healing work that takes place in this container. And there's just so much more. Those are just a few other things we have a whole other thing. We have Head Turner, how to become the industry icon. We have Mayhem, how to create pandemonium in your industry, become the leading expert. Like, literally just 2 weeks ago, I had a video go viral over, over 500,000 views in just a matter of days. And massive opportunities from that on a new account in an industry and a niche that I've never spoken on. with 400 followers, and it blew up because I understand this through activation. I understand how to become an influential person in the industry. I understand how to create things like that, and I understand the aura to hold people's projections. Not afraid of people's judgments, not afraid to be trolled, not afraid to be bashed, not afraid to be rejected, not afraid to be misunderstood. Whew. Big stuff. So you get access to all of that because you can come in and then focus on the thing that you want to shift for yourself rather than being boxed into some kind of basic stuff. And then for those of you who you need a little bit more practical stuff, you get access to posts that penetrate, how to write a post that pierce their soul and make them buy. So I'll write one post and then have 8 people buy within 4 hours. You get video sales video revolution, which is what I'm doing here. How to make a video and then have your biggest cash day on the end of the video, so that you don't have to make sales pages if you don't want to, so that you don't have to be posting a bunch of times, like how to, right? If you want to be making carousels, we have carousels to cash, right? Like there's so many different strategic business programs there too, where you look at what is my gap, what is my issue, what is my problem, and then you are prescribed. You can use whatever the thing that matches for you. But two of the best things about this container, beyond any other container that exists out there, is the community. The women who are in this community, they are absolute divas and rock stars. I have to leave now, but I will look into it today. Yes, no problem, darling. I will drop the link for the House of Wealth as well, so you can look into that. And if you have questions, you can always DM me and I can, help you to figure out what's your right next step. So we do have, and we have coaching every week. So when you have a problem, you're not alone. You have hot seat coaching every week. So you can come in and say, Shaniel, this is what I'm navigating, and I can kick your ass, get you out of your head, out of the sabotage, okay? Let me drop the link for House of Wealth now, because I know that you'll be coming back, and then people in the replay will also be jumping in. All right, I'll just drop the link for you so you can have that. That's the House of Wealth link, right? So we coach in there because I understand that you can have information, but if you are your biggest bottleneck, if you are your biggest problem, you sometimes need somebody to lovingly kick your butt. Even Jesus needed somebody to help him carry the cross. Let's be real, okay? Simon of Cyrene helped Jesus carry the cross. So we all need support. We're not an island. You don't need to do this alone, and it's okay to be supported. So we have that as well inside the House of Wealth. What else? Yeah, and then you get all the new things that I create, you get those as well, new immersions, new programs. So you get access to all the different things around business and money that I make while you're in the container, okay? So House of Wealth I think is a place where every entrepreneur should go and give yourself that support, give yourself that, that connection, that kind of thing. And what I'll do for anyone who signs up for the House of Wealth this weekend, between when I'm recording this in the next however many hours that the recording is up, I will give you access to a 15-minute audit, meaning we'll look at where you're at and then I'll prescribe for you where you need to go to have the biggest fast track for you in the House of Wealth, okay? And the House of Wealth is so good because it's okay, I don't want to say the price because the price will go up, but the pricing is actually really, really special. And the reason I chose that pricing is because, I'll say the pricing here. If in the future it goes up, it just goes up. But it's currently $397 a month, and it's kind of like a membership experience. So you can stay for the minimum, and then after the minimum, if it's not a fit, you can go. There are people who are in there now, they're on their second year. It's that good. They stick around, they stay, because it's that much of a game changer to be able to have somebody tap in and get your questions answered each week and have access to all these resources. And what I'll say is this. The reason I chose this price point was because I make the programs based on my mastery, the things that I've actually mastered, okay? And in 2020, I remembered I was already successful. Yes, I had a 6-figure business, but I remembered hiring mentors that year, and those were the price points that I was effortlessly willing to pay but it still stretched me enough where the community and the environment expanded me. And it was sustainable that I could stay in it without feeling like, okay, what's, like I'm chasing something, you know what I mean? So it was good for my nervous system. So that's why we use that price point. But we do have other containers that are bigger, that are like 1,000 a month, membership wise, or 3,750 a month, depending on what container you're looking at, all right? So, I love you times 1,000, and I'm gonna hop off now. Wait, just give me 1 second. Okay, I'm going to share this live stream into my group because I want to make sure that my hotties in my group can see it as well. All right, so that should be shared to the hotties. I think I shared it to the right place. So yeah, what questions do you guys have? If you're watching the replay, let me know what questions you have. If you have questions, you might not have any more questions. But I just know that like sometimes we don't have what we want, not because we're not worthy, not because we're not deserving, but because we just don't know what we don't know. And when you understand the things that you don't currently know, you can do something different and you can have different results. And I've had ladies come into the House of Wealth. For those of you who are going to be joining me for that, they come into the House of Wealth, and within 2 weeks they went from $0 months, they're having $8,000 days. They're saying like, oh my God, this is something that I was trying to sell for months and nobody was buying. They come into my container and people buy, because what I am so good at is helping you to spot what's really in the way. Whether it's a strategy thing, we have things for that. Whether it's an emotional or mindset thing, we fix that. It's an energetic thing. You're gonna make money, and that's just the thing. Okay, so you have 2 links there, guys. You have the magnetic aura immersion, if you want to just do that work. But if you want the bigger container where you're fully activated around money and wealth and overflow and sales in your business, then I would say jump into the House of Wealth, because it's a game changer for you. Okay, I'm gonna go because I'm feeling cute and everything. We have that no, it's just like a light beat. Doesn't even look like, it just looks natural, effortless, like I wasn't even trying, right? Look at that. And as you can see, I don't put like a lot of makeup and stuff. Every time I move like this, the light goes like that. When I go like this, the lighting is much better when I step back, because I have another light here as well. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll talk to you soon.